Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at James 1. It says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes in the dispersion, greetings. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation, and the rich in his humiliation. Because like a flower of the grass, he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat and withers the grass. Its flower falls, and its beauty perishes. So also will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Of his own he will be brought us forth by the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Knowing this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore, put away all filthiness and rampant wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away, and at once forgets what he was like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. James 1. Testing, believing, doing. Lots of action is what we're looking at, and that's what we need to be doing, is the action. You're wanting to be doing something. You're wanting to better yourself personally, professionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. you have to do. Wanting to lose weight, but you keep sitting around and doing nothing. You have to act upon what it is you're looking to do. Have faith in the action that you're going to do. Interesting thing happened to me. So, day 2 at the gym, which was kind of cool. Now that things are kind of really opening up. Not as busy today as what it was yesterday, but probably because a little bit of a nicer day, somewhat. Still pretty dreary, but no sunshine. But I'm sure people were maybe enjoying the outdoors. But so I go to exercise, which I've been doing that. And of course, now I'm focusing a little more. But again, it's me, which happens so many times, paying for that gym membership, but then never using it. I know a lot of people that do that. It was interesting. I saw a meme that was shared a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? It basically said that there is probably 70% of gym members that do not even know their gym's closed. I'm sure they do, just because everything was. But there's some truth to that. And needing to be able to test yourself, to better yourself, to become stronger, to become better. Learning, but not just learning, but applying what you learn. That's the doing part. So today on Twitter, there was a post on one of the podcast accounts that I follow. And it was making a comment about, tag 3 people that you want to interview. I'm like, all right. Actually, I probably went overboard. I think I tagged 6. But anyway. It was the action. I read it. I debated. Like, yeah, why am I going to do that? Not a big deal. So, I almost let it go. But then I said, it's kind of like doing those things on Facebook. The little games. I'm like, this could be a game. Who can I come up with? Then I'm like trying to come up with people. So, of course, I went with Brandon Routh. Number 1, because he's from Iowa. And number 2, he played Superman. Number 3, my name's Jimmy Olsen. It makes sense. I thought it was kind of funny. I put Jason Momoa on there because, again, another Iowa connection. Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob. Kind of followed his stuff for years. And, of course, he is a cartoon nerd, cartoon geek. The cartoon pieces in there, but also the super heroes. Again, because of my name, Jimmy Olsen, I'm like, I need to put Kevin Smith on there. So I did. And then I put a couple others on that, like Jason Favreau, who was an Iron Man. He was the chauffeur for Tony Stark. But he was also the creator for The Mandalorian, for those of you that are watching The Mandalorian. And then I put John Cryer on there. I've been following him over the years. I remember when I was a kid watching movies that he was in, and then 2.5 Men, and then he was in NCIS as the Doctor, and then now he's Lex Luthor in Supergirl. Yeah. What the heck, right? And then I also put Little Big Town on there. And the only reason why I put Little Big Town is because years ago, being in country radio, and they were an interview. And it was a fun interview, and we had a lot of fun. And I always remember whenever I would go to Nashville, they'd always remember me. Well, that was, 15 years ago. So I'm like, what the heck? We'll see if they remember me. I'm not thinking they will. But either way, I did it. Not saying that anything will come out of it. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Fingers crossed, hope, see what happens. But I did. I tagged all them on Twitter. So we'll go from there. But again, you're asked to do something, and it's something that could open a door of opportunity. And have you taken that step for that opportunity to see what happens, to see where it goes? Again, hearing and then doing, knowing and then applying, testing. How have you gotten better, stronger? That belief. Again, we've had the conversation how I have zero belief in myself. I don't. My self-worth is non-existent. I have friends that get on me about that all the time. But see, I'm raw and I'm open and we talk about this. I mean, again, I do this for me and people listen and that's fantastic and I appreciate you for that. But even then, I just really open things up of myself when I do this podcast. And then I have a couple others. So this one's for another podcast that I do interviews. And then, of course, I have a storytelling podcast that I do as well. I've got a few things that I do. Also, Facebook Live trivia and, well, I've got a few things. In fact, it's been an interesting year for me on social media because somehow I all of a sudden have exploded. And I don't get it. But I'm learning. But I'll be honest as well, I am to the point that it's hard for me to keep up. It's hard for me to keep up with my Facebook, hard for me to keep up with my Twitter because, I mean, on the average, I am the people that are friend requesting me and following me. You know, on Instagram, it's crazy. It's overwhelming. I can't believe it, but it's happening. And I just keep going forward. It's surreal. Kind of like where we're living right now because of the whole virus and how we're dealing with things. It's just surreal. This is something you would see in Hollywood. This is not something that you would live with. I mean, the pandemics to go through between, the polio and the influenza A and the Spanish flu. I mean, we've read about them in history. And now we are actually witnessing one. This is one that will, again, go down. A milestone, a marking of this year. When you take that knowledge, are you taking that and are you applying it to something in your life? How are you bettering yourself? Mentally, physically, spiritually. I do my best. Go to the gym, read, challenge myself. I try to work on those mentally, spiritually, and physically every day. Personally, professionally, try to work on that every day. I fail a lot. We all do. But I do. I don't always accomplish something all the time. But I keep pushing forward. I keep moving forward. I'm not letting that stop me. I'm not letting that obstacle hold me back. I might be slow, but I finally get things done. Like this podcast, I've been doing it for years, and then I fall to the side a little bit because I get busy, and then now I get it back up again, and then I've created a little workspace for me again, so now I'm able to kind of keep on this and my other podcasts and learning other ways to do these podcasts. Like the interview through Zoom, I don't actually have to have a studio, and I can talk to people all over the world. It's pretty easy, pretty fun. But now I have something that I can do, and I've got a solution to how I can get that done. And I'm moving forward. How are you doing that for yourself? How are you helping someone else also do something better for themselves? James 1, I always say, read it for you. We are all in a different spot. And what does it say to you and how does it help you as you are bettering yourself? Remember, today be better than yesterday. Tomorrow be better than today. Always bettering ourselves every day to always be better, always be stronger, always keep moving forward. Be a doer. Not just a hearer. But we do need to listen. Again, one mouth, two ears. We need to listen and then apply. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.